Hello, today I'm going to be talking about how the horse industry affects our economy. Most ordinary people, who are those who are not associated with the horse world, generally don't understand how big of an impact horses have on our economy because they are misinformed. The horse world is not just another world, but it is a business, an enterprise, a hobby, as well as a passion. The diversity of the industry supports an expansive amount of activities across the world, let alone the United States. This industry doesn't always and only operate in the rural parts of the world. It is an urbanized sport and business. While the industry does need rural areas for the well-being of the animals, horse shows, training, as well as horse racing does take place where there is an abundance of people in the suburban and urban areas. The most common outlet for those who are not involved with the horse industry is the thoroughbred racing. Though there are many different types of racing, this part of the horse industry is just an example of how urbanized the sport can be. I generally find people calling it the horse world because it's a world within itself. Here's a picture of the show jumping. There is another area where is the competitive barrel racing in the Western world. Here where horses can just be part of a family, and the competitive thoroughbred racing that is very well known. Those who don't normally have connections to the business are not just aware with how big it really is. However, a study done by Barron Group of Washington, D.C., which is a group that's working towards getting more horses in Congress, meaning we want industry to be represented a little bit better within the House of Representatives. To begin with some of the statistics, there are about 6.9 million horses in the United States alone. These horses are used for commercial and recreational purposes. The number of wild horses is way lower because many of our horses have a job. Of these 6.9 million horses, 1.9 million are used in horse showing, and 2.9 million are used in recreational. These are used for trail riding, backyard pets, or anything technically that does not have a professional status. 1.2 million of these horses are used as workhorses. These workhorses are generally horses that work on farms, ranches, pulling carts and buggies for the Amish, or even work for the police force. Then, there are the horse racing. While a lot of you may feel that the horse racing has the highest number that puts the money back into our economy, it isn't true. There are only 725,000 horses used in the race industry. That is not just the horses who race. Those are also the horses that are behind the scenes and the horses who breed. Now that we have discussed the amount of horses involved, I would also like to discuss the amount of people involved. The number of people surpasses the amount of horses by only 1 million. This makes 7.1 million Americans who are involved in the horse industry, and these people are either owners or employees. There are about 3.6 million equestrians that show horses at local, national, and international level horse shows. There are 4.3 million used recreationally, while only 941,000 are involved with the racing industry. So 3.6 million who show, 4.3 million that are horse owners, recreational horse professionals, as well as 941,000 that are professional in the racing industry, whether that be the trainers, the jockeys, or the CEOs behind the scenes that own the horses. But there is an extremely important part to the horse racing industry, that the spectators are there, tens of millions of people who go to watch these horse races, who place bets, who do put money back. In the end, the entire horse industry puts $112 billion back into the economy. This money is recycled through the horse industry and recycled through our economy, so it doesn't just stay with the horses. To break it down to the urban and more suburban areas of the industry, there are about $2.8 billion cycled through around 45,000 jobs available. In the more rural areas, there are about 20 times the amount, with $22 billion put back into the economy with about 290,000 employees. I hope that gave you a little insight on the horse industry, and I showed you how helpful and important they really are. Thanks. Have a good one.